All right, well, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm surprised to see you first. How are things going since the last time we talked? You had 3 blowout tires.
Well, I haven't done anything to the cars after my very last incident, hopefully, which I still have not regretted to tell Mother, but kind of keep it under the ropes.
Oh, which one was that?
It was the truck.
Oh, the scratch on the wheel or the hub.
No, even worse.
Another one, a different one. What happened?
No, even worse than that.
And she
I
doesn't know. She doesn't see it. She can't tell.
He doesn't know, and so they can't tell. When I was pulling out of a parking lot, I kind of hit another car while pulling out.
Oh, this was after the 3 tire issues.
Not too long after that, yeah, my the escape was getting fixed, and I decided to take the truck on delivery.
Oh goodness. Well, how did you handle that? Did you get in
It
touch?
cost him, yeah, I got in touch with the person. It cost me about 250, so we
Oh,
I
so
got
you
handled.
just you paid out of pocket for her vehicle?
Yeah, I didn't want it to go to insurance and have to use my accident forgiveness for that. It was so minor that I just didn't want to take it to insurance.
Well, so is the damage still done to the truck?
Yeah, but I put some touch-up paint on it, and you can't really see it unless you know what you're looking for and look at it with a close eye.
But you don't want to be honest about it with your mom and just let her
Well,
know?
I wanted to make sure it was all situated before I tell her, or she was in a really good mood.
Okay, well, sooner the better.
Yeah, I know.
You
I'm
know,
hoping to
just
get it. I'm hoping to get it fixed before I have to tell her. Like, just get to a body shop and see what they'll do with it.
by withholding that from her, isn't that stressful for you?
A little bit, but knowing it wasn't that bad is kind of relieving for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to encourage you to share that with her just because, when things like that happens, I mean, they are accidents. And as long as you take care of it, you fix it, it's better than withholding truth just because it breaks trust, right?
Yeah.
But again, this is why her and I both told you when you're just kind of getting out in the real world, it's better to have a vehicle that is not really super expensive, because not only when it breaks down, if you get in accidents as well, parts and labor and fixing it is more expensive too. When you have, I'm not going to say a beater vehicle, but just one that's not super expensive like the truck, when something like that happens, it's not as stressful. And these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's weighing on your mind. Is there anything going on with you that you want to talk about today, or that you have on your mind, or that you need some guidance on?
Hmm. I believe we've talked to Dad about this before, but I do not like damaging his vehicles. I mean, I know he's in heaven and he doesn't own that anymore, but I feel like if he was on here, he'd be a little bit like, Tyler, you know I know these are distractions, but you need to be a better driver or something, or learn to drive better or something like that.
Yeah, you want me to tune in and see what he has to say about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath. I just ask that the highest light and vibration surround us. I ask that any and all information be made abundantly clear for you. Okay, let's see what your dad has to say about the vehicle. He just says, yeah, things happen. You are going to have to pay closer attention to how you're driving and slow down and just make sure, because he's saying it is a big responsibility. And he says things can be fixed, but when accidents happen because you're distracted or you're tired or you're just not paying attention, the the accidents that happen to where you can fix the problem is not that big of a deal, like the tires and the scratch on the truck. But he says it's if you start getting sloppy, it's the accidents that happen where you get hurt or you hurt someone else that would be the problem. And that's what he's more worried about. He's saying these are just minor things that are happening right now, but if you get in the habit of rushing or not paying attention, bigger things can happen. And he doesn't want you to hurt somebody else or for you to get hurt. And that you need to man up. I don't know if that he would use that term, but he's saying man up, like step up and talk to your mom about it to let her know. He says that, your mom takes care of a lot of things, and she needs to know that she can depend on you to be honest and just take care of anything that got messed up, which he knows that you are and that you would. But he's more so just saying that hiding it from your mother is not a quality that he would instill in you as your dad. And he kind of says, now, I might have been a little bit easier to talk to. Was that true?
Yeah.
He would have been easier to talk to than your mom?
But then again, there's that part of him that'll be like, yeah, you're still not gonna use my truck, but
Right. he would have held your
I
feet
would
to
have.
the fire, but he's just saying you might have felt easier going to him to talk about it versus your mom. But he's saying your mom's all you have now. Like, not saying he's not around you, but like you said, he's up in heaven. And so when he's going to talk to you, it's going to be through a session like this, or you're going to just hear him in your own head. But he's saying right now, your mom's all you got, and you got to take care of her and take care of the relationship, and you got to be the man of the house and grow up into a strong young man. And so he's just saying, and giving your word, honoring your word, making sure that your word is true and strong. He says that's what I would teach you if I were there. That's what I would instill in you, the value of your word and the value of owning up to whatever you need to own up. That's just what we do as good men, is what he says.
Yeah.
It's not a comfortable feeling to have to own up to something or tell somebody that you dented a nice vehicle. But I think what your dad is saying is things like that happen. As long as you are honest about it and take care of it, then there's really nothing else bad or nothing else that you can do other than what he just said, which is being more careful when you're driving. And when an accident does happen, making sure. And he's also saying, by you telling the girls about the vehicle, that you hit her vehicle, he said that's what he's talking about. Like, that was honor. There was honor in that you did that, because a lot of people would have just driven off and not said anything. I don't know if the girl was there when you did it, or if you had to kind of search her out. But he's just saying a lot of people, when things like that happen, if the other person isn't there, they would just leave and not leave a note, not find them, hit and run kind of thing, just to save their butt. And he said that he's proud of you for doing that and for taking care of it. But he's saying there's another extension that you have to do, which is owning up to it with your mom. And he says that's the right thing to do. And he's also saying he wants you to understand that it could backfire on you to wait later to tell her about it, because she may blow it off or say, well, as long as it's taken care of. But in the future, what'll happen if you get into that habit of waiting too long or waiting after the fact to tell someone, they will not trust you and your word. And your dad is saying he doesn't want that to happen between you and your mom. Do you understand what he's saying?
Yes.
He's saying, take the hit up front, rip the Band-Aid off, and just deal with it sooner than later. Because once you break someone's trust like that, it's harder to get it back than it is to deal with the feelings of just having to let someone down because you did something that might make them upset.
Yeah.
He says he really likes having this conversation with you. He says, I miss having learning moment conversations with you as my son. He's really liking being able to father you, even if it's through me, through the computer. He's just kind of showing me that this is what fathers and sons do. They talk about these things, like fathers teach their sons things like this, and it's important. And he's just saying he's glad that you're open to doing it this way, because this is the only way that he can do it right now. He's just glad that you're open to that, because he wants to be a part of your life. He still wants to teach you things. And he says, you know, there's things that I would teach you that you may not talk to your mom about. And there's things that I may be able to explain to you that your mom can't or wouldn't or couldn't relate, just because of her being your mother and a female. And I know that sounds kind of weird because I'm a female and I'm telling you this, but this is him talking through me. This is not me talking to you. But he says he wants you to know that you can come to him anytime you need some guidance, or you just need to feel close to him. You know, he's saying, but this is about as good as it gets. Like, I have to use her to voice things for you, but it doesn't mean I can't get the message to you. It doesn't mean that we can't talk, is what he says.
Okay.
He gave you some really good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I just gotta find the time and the way to use that advice.
That's right. You do. You have to apply it to your life, and every
Yeah.
situation's different, but good wisdom in what he said. And you are a very smart young man. And I really see you listening to when I share things with you, when he comes through and shares things with you, you really listen to the message and what you're receiving. And so I have every bit of expectation and hope and just knowing that you'll put it to good use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
Well, good talking to you, and we'll talk again soon. And you have a good day. Okay, Tyler?
She's about to finish up. Yeah. Yeah.